Hello everyone, it's Manahu Tofu and I am so incredibly glad you're here with me today. We're going to talk about something that touches every single one of us, something that can feel both exhilarating and absolutely terrifying, speaking with confidence. You know, that ability to stand in our truth, to share our ideas, our stories, our very selves with the world, whether that's in a big boardroom, a small team meeting, or even just across the dinner table. It's a skill, a vital one, that weaves through the fabric of our personal and professional lives, allowing us to connect, to influence, and to lead. Now, I want to be really clear about something right from the start. This idea that some people are just confident speakers and others aren't, that's a myth, a story we tell ourselves. The truth, the beautiful, messy, human truth, is that confidence isn't some fixed trait. It's a practice. It's something that can be cultivated, nurtured, and grown over time, especially when we approach it with the right mindset, the right strategies, and a whole lot of self-compassion. It's about showing up, even when we're scared, and learning to trust our own voice. So, in our time together today, we're going to dive deep into this. We'll explore what it truly means to build self-confidence in speaking. We're not just going to skim the surface. We're going to look at very practical, actionable steps you can take. We'll talk about those crucial mindset shifts that can reframe how you see yourself and your ability to communicate. And importantly, we'll discuss the power of consistent, courageous practice, because that's where the magic happens, in the showing up again and again. So, let's start at the very beginning. What does it mean to be confident when we speak? Often, we get this image of someone flawless, someone who never stumbles, never hesitates, knows every single answer. But can I tell you something? That's not confidence. That's an unattainable ideal, and chasing it can actually our self-belief. True confidence in speaking isn't about perfection or omniscience. It's about something far more profound and accessible. It's about trusting yourself, trusting that you can gather your thoughts, articulate them with clarity, and connect with others. It's about being okay with the imperfections, the occasional because you know your core message, your intention, is what truly matters. This kind of confidence encompasses being comfortable with the beautiful vulnerability of making mistakes because, let's be honest, mistakes are how we learn, how we grow. It's about deeply believing that your voice, your unique perspective, has value and deserves to be heard. It's important to distinguish this from arrogance. Self-confidence isn't about thinking you're better than others. It's a quiet, steady self-assurance. It's rooted in the hard work of preparation, the wisdom gleaned from experience, both good and challenging, and a growing self-awareness that allows you to stand firm in who you are, even when your voice shakes a little. It's knowing your worth, independent of the outcome. Before we can truly build that sturdy foundation of confidence, we have to be brave enough to look at what's currently undermining it. It's like trying to build a house on shaky ground. We need to understand the terrain first. So, I invite you to take a moment, a really honest moment, and ask yourself, what is it that truly holds me back when I think about speaking up? What are the stories I tell myself? Is it a deep-seated fear of being judged, of someone else's critical gaze making you feel small or inadequate? Do you imagine people dissecting your every word, waiting for you to slip up, or perhaps even to ridicule what you have to say? Or maybe it's the anxiety of your mind going blank, that terrifying moment where you fear forgetting your carefully prepared points. Perhaps you question your mastery of the language, your accent, or your general speaking skills, worrying that you won't sound articulate or intelligent enough. It could be a past experience, a moment of shame or embarrassment that still whispers doubt in your ear. Naming these fears, really getting specific about them, isn't about dwelling on the negative. It's about shining a light into those corners so we can see what we're truly up against. Once you identify the specific source of your apprehension, you can begin to address it directly, with compassion and with targeted, empowering strategies. Alright, let's talk about one of the most powerful antidotes to speaking anxiety: preparation. I truly believe that confidence doesn't just magically appear, it grows from the soil of diligent, thoughtful preparation. When you feel prepared, that sense of uncertainty, which is often the fuel for anxiety, begins to diminish. So, if you have an opportunity to speak, whether it's a formal presentation, a crucial meeting, or even a significant conversation, invest the time to prepare thoroughly. The first step is to truly your topic. Dive into it, research it, understand its nuances, and then, importantly, structure your message in a way that feels clear and logical too. Think about the story you want to tell, the key takeaways you want your audience to leave with. Once you have your content, the next crucial step is to practice it aloud. And I mean practice. Don't just mumble it in your head. Stand up, find a mirror, and deliver your message as if you were in the real situation. Record yourself on your phone. I know it can feel cringy at first, but it's an incredibly valuable tool for self-awareness. Ask a trusted friend or colleague to listen and give you honest, constructive feedback. Another vital part of preparation is to anticipate questions. Put yourself in your audience's shoes. What might they be curious about? What objections might they have? Thinking through potential questions and how you might respond not only makes you feel more equipped, but also deepens your understanding of the material. Preparation isn't about memorizing a script. It's about internalizing your message so deeply that you can speak from a place of genuine understanding and conviction. Now, I want to be really gentle here because sometimes the idea of speaking confidently can feel like this enormous mountain we have to climb all at once. And that can be overwhelming, right? So, let's reframe this. You don't have to leap from silence to delivering a keynote address in front of hundreds of people overnight. That's not how sustainable growth usually happens. Instead, think about starting small and building your confidence gradually, one courageous step at a time. It's about creating a series of small wins that accumulate, reinforcing your belief in your ability to use your voice effectively. Consider where you can begin to stretch your comfort zone just a little. Maybe it's speaking up in small group discussions where the stakes feel lower. Perhaps it's committing to asking one thoughtful question or offering an answer during a team meeting or a class. It could even be sharing your opinion respectfully in an online forum or a social media comment section, practicing articulating your thoughts in a public, albeit digital space. Each of these seemingly minor acts is an opportunity to practice, to learn, and to build that internal muscle of confidence. Every time you speak up, even in a small way, and realize, hey, I did that and it was okay, you're laying another brick in the foundation for tackling bigger speaking challenges down the road. It's fascinating, isn't it, how interconnected our minds and bodies are? What we often don't realize is that our physical posture and demeanor can profoundly influence not only how others perceive us, but also how we about ourselves. Your body language can actually be a powerful tool in cultivating and projecting confidence, even when you're feeling a little shaky inside. Think about it. Confident body language communicates presence, openness, and self-assurance. So what does this look like in practice? It starts with something as simple as maintaining good posture. Stand or sit tall, as if a string is gently pulling you up from the crown of your head. This not only makes you look more assertive, but also allows for better breath control, which is key for speaking. Making eye contact is another crucial element. It shows engagement and sincerity, and it helps you connect with your listeners on a human level. You don't need to stare, but aim for gentle, consistent contact with different people in the room. Using natural, purposeful gestures can help emphasize your points and convey enthusiasm. And a genuine smile? It's incredibly powerful. It can disarm, connect, and make both you and your audience feel more at ease. Conversely, try to be mindful of body language that might signal nervousness or a lack of conviction, like crossing your arms, slouching, fidgeting excessively, or avoiding eye contact. Practicing confident posture and gestures, even when you don't feel it initially, can actually trick your brain into feeling more confident. It's a bit like fake it till you make it, but I'd prefer to think of it as practice it till you become it. Oh, the stories we tell ourselves. This is a big one, folks. So often, the biggest barrier to our speaking confidence isn't the audience or the topic or even our skills, it's that relentless inner critic, that voice inside our heads that whispers, or sometimes shouts, all sorts of unhelpful and unkind things. Many of us, without even realizing it, are actively sabotaging our own confidence with a constant stream of negative self-talk. Thoughts like, I'm definitely going to mess this up, or I'm just not a good speaker, or everyone here is smarter than me, they'll see right through me, or the classic, what if they laugh at me? These thoughts create a self-fulfilling prophecy, fueling anxiety and undermining our performance before we even open our mouths. The good news is, we have the power to change this internal narrative. It takes awareness and practice, but it's absolutely possible. The first step is to simply notice these negative thoughts without judgment. Just observe them. Then, we can begin to consciously challenge and replace them with more empowering, compassionate, and realistic affirmations. Instead of "I'll mess this up," try, "I am well prepared and capable of handling this." Instead of "I'm not good enough," affirm, "My voice and my ideas have value, and I have something important to contribute." When everyone will laugh at me pops up, counter it with, "I am here to share and connect, and I can handle whatever comes my way." This isn't about naive positivity. It's about cultivating a supportive inner dialogue that acknowledges your strengths and your efforts. Your inner world profoundly shapes your outer performance, so let's make sure it's a kind and encouraging place. Here's a powerful shift in perspective that can make a world of difference when you're speaking. Try to move your focus away from yourself and onto your message and your audience. So much of our speaking anxiety stems from self-consciousness, from worrying about how we're being perceived, how we look, how we sound, whether we're impressive enough. When our internal spotlight is shining brightly on ourselves and all our perceived flaws, it's incredibly difficult to feel at ease or to connect authentically. We become hyper-aware of every little sensation, every potential misstep. But what if, instead, we consciously chose to shine that spotlight outwards? What if we asked ourselves, how can I serve my audience with this message? Or, what is the one key thing I want them to take away that could help them, inspire them, or inform them? Or, what value am I bringing to this conversation? When you focus on the purpose of your communication, on the gift of your message, something remarkable happens. Your self-consciousness tends to recede because your energy and attention are directed toward contribution, rather than self-evaluation. This shift doesn't just reduce anxiety, it also makes your speaking more impactful, more genuine, and more engaging for those listening. It transforms the act of speaking from a performance to an offering. Every single time you speak, whether it's a formal presentation or a casual comment in a meeting, it's an opportunity. It's a chance to learn, to refine, and to grow. It's so important to see each speaking experience not as a test with a pass or fail grade, but as a data point on your journey of development. After you've spoken, instead of immediately rushing to judgment or dwelling on what you think went wrong, try to carve out a little time for gentle, constructive reflection. Ask yourself, what aspects of that went well? What felt strong? When did I feel most connected or clear? Acknowledging your successes, no matter how small, is crucial for building momentum and self-belief. Then, with that same spirit of gentle inquiry, consider what could be improved for next time. Perhaps you noticed you spoke a bit too quickly when you got nervous, or maybe you wished you'd made more eye contact, or perhaps you realized you could have structured a particular point more clearly. These aren't failures, they are valuable insights. If you receive feedback from others, try to listen with an open heart and mind, even if it's a little uncomfortable. Filter it through your own experience and look for the nuggets of truth that can help you. The more you speak, the more you reflect, and the more you consciously integrate those learnings, the more natural and confident speaking will become. It's a cycle of practice, reflection, and refinement. There's an old saying that practice makes perfect, and while I might lean more towards practice makes progress, there's undeniable truth in the power of repetition. However, practicing in isolation can sometimes feel daunting, and it's easy to get stuck in our own heads. This is where the incredible power of community and shared practice comes in. Surrounding yourself with others who are also on a journey to build their speaking confidence can accelerate your growth in ways you might not imagine. It provides a safe space to experiment, to stumble, and to get back up, all while being supported by people who understand the challenges. Consider looking for groups or communities specifically designed to help people develop their communication skills. Organizations like Toastmasters International are renowned for their structured programs and supportive environments where members practice speaking regularly and receive constructive feedback. There are also countless public speaking clubs, both local and online, as well as workshops that focus on specific aspects of communication. If English isn't your first language, joining English conversation groups can be a fantastic way to build fluency and confidence in a relaxed setting. Being part of a learning community offers not just practical skill building, but also encouragement, accountability, and the invaluable realization that you are not alone in this journey. The shared energy and mentorship found in these spaces can be a tremendous boost to both your skills and your self-assurance. I want to share a truth that I hope lands deeply with you. Even the most seasoned, articulate, and seemingly flawless speakers make mistakes. They stumble over words, they lose their train of thought for a moment, they might use a filler word or two. It happens. It's part of being human and communicating in real time. The difference isn't that they don't make mistakes, it's how they handle them, and crucially, that they don't let the fear of making mistakes stop them from speaking in the first place. So much of our anxiety comes from this pursuit of an impossible perfection. What truly matters when you make a small slip-up, and we all do, is not the mistake itself, but how you recover from it. Can you take a breath, perhaps offer a brief, calm correction if needed, and then simply continue with your message? Can you learn from the experience without letting it define you or derail your progress? And most importantly, can you commit to keep speaking anyway, to keep showing up, even with the knowledge that perfection is not the goal? Here's a little secret. Most of the time, the audience barely notices small mistakes unless you draw a big red arrow to them by getting flustered or overly apologetic. Your willingness to be imperfect and to persevere is far more compelling and inspiring than a flawless but disconnected delivery. As we draw our time together to a close, I want to leave you with this thought. Building self-confidence in speaking is truly a journey, not some instant overnight transformation. It's a path paved with moments of courage, with consistent practice, and with a deep well of self-compassion for all the times we feel vulnerable or stumble along the way. It requires a willingness to lean into discomfort, to stretch ourselves just a little bit further than we thought we could, knowing that growth happens right there, on the edge of our comfort zone. The real key, the heart of it all, isn't to wait until you magically feel confident to start speaking. If we waited for that perfect moment of unshakable confidence, many of us would never utter a word. Instead, the path is to speak until you feel confident. It's in the act of doing, the repetition, the learning from each experience, that confidence is forged. It's about showing up, even when your knees are knocking, and trusting that your voice will find its strength. So, I encourage you, I implore you, speak often, in big ways and small, speak clearly with intention and purpose, and most importantly, speak bravely, knowing that your unique perspective, your stories, your ideas, they all matter. Your voice has power. It deserves to be heard. Thank you for sharing this time with me. Go out there and let your voice ring.